Today we are going to learn two topics. One of them is exception handling, another one file input output. Exception handling, it is going to enable a program to deal with exceptional situations to continue its normal execution. You know, when we had an error, it is giving us an error message. Those error messages, Java Java handling these exceptions for us. Today we are going to see how we can handle our own exceptions. I don't want to stop my program. Okay, there is an error. I don't want my whole program to stop. Just give me my error message and continue. So runtime errors, if you remember using an array index that is out of bounds. This is one exception. Imagine there is an array, there are 10 elements, and you are looking for the 11th element. So this is one error, runtime error. Entering a double when program expecting integer or string. Dividing with 0. These are runtime errors, these are exception situations, and these are going to, Java is going to handle these exceptions and give us some messages, error messages. It's going to just finish, stop the program, terminate it, and then give us our error message. For example, I have this sample program. It is asking me to enter two integer numbers. Enter first number, n1, enter second number, n2, and then I divide them, n1 divided by n2. It is pretty straightforward. After that, I print out the division. Everything is nice here. What if n2 is 0? If n2 is 0, it is not going to divide it. It's going to throw us this error message. It says that exception in thread main. Where is main? Here. What is the error? Java lang arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exceptions divide by 0. So I am trying to divide by 0, and I enter 0 here. And if you read this error message, it is already giving us what is wrong with your code. Okay, so exceptions Java 5, it is going to be at line 5 or something like that. So how can I handle this one? I mean, this error message is very ugly, this red thing. Sometimes you're going to see very long error messages, and it is not very clear. It is very easy. Just it can tell me you cannot divide by n2, or I can write my own personal error message. How? I can put here one if condition. If I enter n2, if n2 is 0, print out something. Don't run this one. Else, run this one. This is okay. But there will be many situations like that, and there will be a lot of ifs there. It's a long way. A kind of non-local control, keep watch on a particular section of the code. If you get an exception, throw that exception, let it be known. Look for a catcher that can handle that kind of exception. So I'm going to write a catcher. It is going to catch my problem and give it whatever message I like to give them. If found, handle it. Otherwise, let Java handle it, which usually helps the program. So you can leave this problem to Java. It is going to handle it, but it is going to halt the program. It's going to stop it. Stop the program. Imagine you have 1,000 line program. There is an error at the beginning. It is just going to stop all the program. It's not going to continue with the other steps. Doing better with input. In general, we have assumed that the input we receive is correct from a file from the user. It is absolutely wrong. Input is the evil thing, guys. You are gonna become web developer or software engineer, and somehow you will ask your clients to enter some information. You will let them to upload some PDF file, doc files. These are all evil, in fact. This is almost never true. There is always the chance that the input could be wrong. Our program should be able to handle this. Word set input is evil. This Howard and LeBlanc, in their book Writing Secure Code, they said that all input is evil until proven otherwise. So most security holes in programs are based on assumptions programmers make about input. So if you want to hack something, you have to check their form uploader. Well, there is always something there that you can find out. There is a gap there. So if there is some input parts, there is a gap there, so you have to be careful. Secure programs protect themselves from evil input. How we are going to use try and catch. This is a general form. Try whatever you want to run. Here I am going to put the code. I am expecting an error. There is an input here. I am asking my clients to enter something. So it is going to check here. If there is anything wrong here, then my catch part is going to catch it. When you catch, what do you want to do? Just put it here. There are many classes. We will see them. We can directly use them. We don't need to create our own error catcher. Let's have a look at this one. Now, same program. We are entering two integers, n1 and n2. We divide them. So in try, I am going to put the code. I am expecting an error. I am expecting client's error here. He is entering n1, she is entering n1 and n2, and I divide them. If there is any error here, it is not going to directly close the program at all, halt the program. It is going to check my catch. Do I have a catch for this one? Yes. Exception is a class, and E is just the object. I am creating an object, exception object. You can give any name here, doesn't matter. Exception E. If there is an error, it is going to print out this one, error occurred man. Let's say I enter first number 5, second number 0. Now it is dividing here. There is an error. Java is going to look at this one. Do you have a catcher? If you have a catcher, it is going to run that one. If you don't have any catcher, it is going to throw its own catcher. So this is much more better. Instead of seeing all these error messages here, this is your customized error message. It doesn't hold the program. You don't see that red things here. So try suite contains code that we want to monitor for errors during its execution. If an error occurs anywhere in that try, Java looks for a handler that can deal with the error. If no special handler exists, Java handles it, meaning the program halts and with an error message, as we have seen so many times till now. In catch suite, it works with try. You cannot use catch alone. Each exception names a type of exception it is monitoring for, so you can have many catches. If the error occurs in try suite, matches the type of exception, then that catch suite is activated. So together, if no exception in try, skip all the try catch to the next line of code. So if everything is okay in try, you don't need to run catch. You just can continue. Just skip that catch part and continue. If an error occurs, look write exception. If found, run the catch. Then skip past group to the next line of the code. So it is not halting the whole Java code. It is just printing out whatever you put on the catch, and then it will continue running the rest of the program. Okay? So you know there is an error there, but it might not affect the rest of the code. So why to stop? Why to halt all the program? Just carry on, show the error there, that's all. If no exception handling found, give the error to Java and Java will handle it. Let's make it interesting. We have a do while loop here. I enter a number. It is input scanner. We have a continue input. I am using this one to stop while loop. This is true. While it is true, it is keep running this one. So in the while loop, I have try and catch. In try, it is asking me to enter an integer. And I just assign that integer to A. I read from scanner and I assign to A. Then I change to continue input false. Then the while loop will be over. If there is error, if I didn't enter integer, I enter, let's say, double or string, what happens? This is gonna give me error because I am telling that integer A and read whatever you enter there and assign to integer A, but you read string, it cannot be A, cannot be integer. So there is an error, it is going to throw to the except this catch. I created exception class E object. This is my message. You should enter integer, don't you read. Then I say input the next line. It is discarding the input what you enter. So you just drop that one, whatever you read there. Then you will carry on again, start again here. It will ask you, enter integer again. If you enter integer, fine. It is gonna give false and you are out of the loop. If you enter again double, it will throw you here, show the message, clear up everything and start again. Okay, this input next line, whatever you read, it is just skipping that one and continue, keep reading. So it is discarding the input. Let's say I enter an integer 5.5, it is not integer. What happened? It is double error. Do I have a handler? Yes. So it jumps here. You should enter integer, don't you read? Discard the input, then come back here. Enter an integer. I enter again double, so it will come here, show the message, discard the input, come back here again. Enter integer, I enter this time. Now continue input is false. I jump here, I skip this part because there is no error. I skip, I came. Is this false? Yes, then stop the loop. Okay. So the only point here, I don't want to stop. Normally, if I enter string here, what happens? I am gonna see the error message and program halted. I have to restart, I have to start the program again. But this is letting me to stay in the program. Do not halt it. So I am still in the program, I see my error. I don't need to start everything from the beginning. We are all human, we can make mistake. I don't need to restart all server again for this one. I am seeing my error. It is giving me second chance. I enter again, error, second chance again, third chance until you enter the correct type. Okay, so that is why we are using try and catch. So what are the exceptions? Here I have, as you suggest, exception, but there are many exceptions. Arithmetic exceptions. This is, we have seen when you divide by 0. Class not found exception. Illegal argument exception. Index out of bounds exception. Input mismatch exception. Here you are asking integer, but you enter double. Let's say I have two conditions this time. I am asking user to enter an integer. After that, I print out. Then this is false. So this continue input will be false. We are going to out of loop. The program will be over. Then I am dividing by 0, this 5. So there are two errors here. There might be two errors here. This is absolute error. What is that error? It is arithmetic exception. The first one, input mismatch exception. So it is asking me to enter integer. I can enter string, double. Here, arithmetic exception error, I am trying to divide by 0. So which one it is going to catch? The first catch, I can say input mismatch exception. So this class. Exception is very generic class. I want to go in detail. I know that specific error might be here for the first part, input mismatch exception. So I am increasing the filter here. Exception is a huge filter. It is getting all of them. Input mismatch, it is a little more strict. We are specifying the error there. So input mismatch exception, it is only looking if there is any input mismatch. Where is it? Here. Try again. Input next line, it is just discarding the input. Second catch, it is arithmetic exception error. No dividing to 0. So if I run this program, if I enter integer, it is going to give me this error. If I enter string, it is going to give me this error. Okay. So you can increase number of catches here. You can put many filters here for your errors. You will try this one, don't worry. So checkpoint. I cannot see the screen. You are still with me, guys, huh? Gzor, hello. Yeah, I am recording, Kevin, don't worry. I am recording with other. I opened twice. So, show the output of the following code. We have a try and catch. Integer I 0. Okay. It is printing I. Then I divide 1 by 0 for some reason. So this is the error. I create a very generic class, exception class, object X, and print no good. I 0, then space. Then I'm gonna get the error, it will go there. Then I will be 1 space. Again, I will go there, no good. Then 2, again, I'm going to print this one and no good. So as you see, it is not going to close the program. It's not going to halt and show me error, then finish, you have to run again. Even there is an error here, obvious error here, it is still keep running until I finish this for loop. If I run, I will see 0, no good. Of course, there is no triage, there is no while here, just for, then this will go over. Okay, it shows 0, then there is an error. I jump here, I print it out no good, then it is over. There is no do while loop here. Then it is finished. We close it. Is it clear, guys? We break the for loop here. Because I have an error here, it jumped to this function, it is not coming back here. It jumped to this catch, catcher just print out the error, then it is over. What about here? It is almost same. I have for loop, 0 to 10. I have 1 divided by 0. It is printing out. This is the catcher. This time I have for loop out of try. I 0, it comes here. 1 divided by 0, there is an error. It will come here, print out error. Then is it over? Or it will keep running this one. This all try and catch in the for loop. It is same as do while loop. It was in the do while loop until you don't break the while loop. It will keep running until your for loop is not over. It is going to keep running here because it is in the try. It is in the for loop. This try and catch. In this exercise, you are your for loop in the try now. You try once. You came here. You cannot do it 1 with 0. There is an error. You jump to catcher. Then it is over. You cannot come back in the for loop here. But here, your try and catch in the for loop. So you print out 0. So let me show you 0. Then you come here, 1 divided by 0. There is an error. You come here, error, print out. So second one. I is 1 now. Print 1. You come again and divide by 0, there is an error. You print out error, then continue until you finish all for loop here. Because this is in the for loop. It is same as do while loop that we have done. Just a couple of minutes ago. Okay? So when an exception is thrown, it can code and handle in a try-catch block as follows. You can have many exceptions and catchers. There are many catches here. If no exceptions arise during the execution of the try block, the catch blocks are skipped. All of them will be skipped and you will continue the code here if there is no error here in try. There is one thing, when you see try catch, you might see the finally. Finally clause is always executed regardless whether an exception occurred or not. If there is any error here or not, doesn't matter. Finally will run always. Let's say there is an error, it is going to run this catch, then you will run finally again. Let's say there is no error here, you skip catch, you run finally again. This is finally, you might need to use in some reason somewhere. When to use exceptions, a method should throw an exception if the error needs to be handled by its caller. Otherwise, you don't need to. If you don't want your program to halt, if you design such a program that the user can enter again and enter the input, you can use try and catch. Do you have any question about try and catch, guys? Okay, it is not that difficult. I mean, if you look at the slides, I try to make them as clear as possible before tomorrow. When you should use this exercise, in fact, nice to understand when you should use. Imagine you design a login interface and you ask user to enter with capital letter, their password supposed to be with complexity, it should meet the complexity. There should be capital letters, numbers, and some special characters, and they didn't do that one. Normally, you are supposed to give error and halt it, or give error and just halt the program. Or you are asking to enter their name, they enter not text, some numbers. So you were expecting them to enter integer, they enter double or string. So you can give them this error. Of course, you can put there if else, but this is the proper way to do that one. We are having an exception handler. It is going to check if there is an error. It is going to give you that error and continue with the next step here. If it is in the while loop, it will keep asking until he enters the correct one. Especially when you deal with data reading from text or SQL. You check if this file is there or not. If it is not there, you have to continue. You shouldn't halt the program. You should keep working. You should ask them to enter new text file. It is not there. Or you are looking for a column, it is not there. For those parts, we have been using try. I mean, you can put everything in try and you can put the catch and say that, okay, in this part of the code, there is an error. And it will continue running. It doesn't stop. Maybe that part is not that important. It is not affecting everything. There were many modules. If that module doesn't work, doesn't matter. The rest of the module is supposed to keep working. So that module didn't work, doesn't matter. The rest, the program still on. So I can still keep using other modules in that interface, let's say. It doesn't hold everything. Only that part is not working, that's all. Like your ACE, I mean, ACE, sometimes the finance part is not working, it doesn't affect. It doesn't stop all our server, just that part is not working, it's giving us error, that's it. This is more generic, but if you go in detail, you can give more specific filters. Very small filters for everything. It is going to be huge worry, in fact. I don't recommend to put try catch for every input. It's going to take a very long time. But we are going to use this one for files. That's why I am showing you this now. How to read from text file and read and write there. We need to use exceptions there. File input output, till now we were using this command window, enter our inputs, read, write, then when you close everything is gone, nothing is saved there. So we need to store the data. So data stored in program are temporary, they are lost when the program terminates. Permanently stored data created in a program, you need to save them in a file on a disk or other permanent storage devices. How do we do that one? We are going to use import this class, Java input output, and everything in that class. Import Java input output and start, you know, it means everything from that class. And syntax is this one. From file class, we create a file object and we tell where is the file. So file is in my E local disk / ali.txt. So this is my file name and the extension. It might be dot. I am not going to show you from SQL. It is something you are going to learn next, I guess, yeah, next year in web programming. We are simply gonna write something on the text file and read from there, that's all. So it creates a file object, not a file. The file is already there. I am just assigning this file to this object. Everything in that file is going to, I am gonna reach whatever I have in that file by using this file1 object. What can we do? I can ask this one, file1 exists. I can say file1 is file. File1 get absolute path, file1 length. There are many methods in this file class. So I am inheriting file class here and I can use all the methods there. If I run this, file exists, it is going to be true because I have this file in my E. If it doesn't, it's going to give me false. Is it a file? It checks if it is a file or not. It is returning me the whole path, the absolute path with this one. It is telling me it means there are 22 characters in this file. So besides that, I have many, in fact. Like exist, can read, can write, is directory file, hidden absolute path, get name, get path, get parent. There are many methods here. We are going to use just a couple of them. Now, printer, how am I going to write it? Okay, I read it, I take and assign to file1 object. So how can I read or write?
Teacher, please, can you go back to the other slide? I want to screenshot it.
You have this one in your book, in fact. I'm just showing there. So, print writer is going to help me to write, read from my file. But if I use this one, it's going to create a file and write data to text file. So this file name will be my file objects. If there is anything there, it is going to wipe out everything from there. Let's say I have something there, this file name. This is how you write it. Print John T. Smith, print line 90. It is going to write John T. Smith 90, then press enter, this print line. So I am not writing anymore on the command window. I am writing on the text file anymore. So normally, how was it? If I say system out print line, it was printing out on the command window. I can see the text. Now I'm not writing anything there. I'm just writing on the text file directly. How? With this object. What is that object? This is the object of print writer, not scanner. System out. It is just print out, printer now. So this is second line now. Eric K. Jones. Then 85. Press enter. It is putting space between these two automatically. White space. So if I check my text file, it is going to be John T. Smith 90, Eric K. Jones 85. Let's see on the real one. So I created a file, topal.txt in E. I have already this file, and I assign this, whatever I have inside, to file 1. Now I want to write things there, print writer, new file. File 1. So the NIF file object is going to help me to write in that file. If the file already exists, the current content in the file will be discarded without verifying with the user. So what should I do? If I have some text here, whenever I create print writer objects and assign this text file, it is going to wipe out everything there. It's clear everything from there. So I can put if condition here. I say if file 1 exists, file already exists, then it says this. There are 2 exits here. Generally used to indicate successful termination, 0. 1 or -1 doesn't matter, any number beside 0, non-zero value. Generally it gets unsuccessful termination. So I like to terminate successfully. It is going to just close this one and continue. If there is a file, I don't want to lose my information there. Okay? So it check if there is file exists, it just terminate it. If there is no file, I am going to assign new file with that text file. So we check it. File already exists? No, there is not exist. It continue here. Then I start entering. New file, my objects. I am trying to write there. There. Then 1, 2, 3. Press enter. Epocha University. Then Albania, press enter. Then email. After that, I have to close the file. If you don't close this file, this close is not only closing the file, it is saving. It means you are saving and closing. If you don't close, you cannot see anything there. If you want to do some more information, if you want to print out them, you have to close first. Close means it doesn't mean that you are closing all the program. You can keep doing whatever you like to do here. It is just closing this topal text file and saving it. Saving and closing it. So this is what you are gonna see on your text file. There 1, 2, 3, Epocha University Albania, press enter. There Epocha University, then close and save. So if this method is not invoked, the data may not be saved properly in the file. What can I do with this print writer class? You can write many things with any data type. You don't need to specify them: string, char, integer, long, float, double boolean. You can use print line to start a new line. You can use even print f. So it is same as writing on the command window. Okay, now how can I read it? Okay, I write something that now I want to read them and show them on the window, on the monitor, on the command window. We have been using scanner to read values from console. It can be used to read from other inputs too. But we are going to use again scanner. This time we are not going to read from console. We are going to read from the text file. The syntax will be this one, scanner input, new scanner. This is our file object. You remember file1 is equal new file, and the path is here. You can create everything here at the same time. Or you can create here the object and write here the file name, file1. Same thing. So let's try to write, we have the text file now, and we want to read everything and print out. We created our file object, file1, in file1. Now scanner input, we created our scanner object input, and this file1 is coming from there. It was system in before. Now it is not system in, I am not reading from console, I am going to read from file1. This is my file1. Is it okay? It was system in, I was reading from console, now I am reading from my text file, which is file1. I already assigned file1 to tuple text here. System out print line input dot next. Now what am I gonna see? So this is gonna print out something on the console. Next, input next. This is input. It is going to read until the first white space, whatever you have here. What do I have? Dave. So next is gonna read till Dave until it sees a white space. It reads everything and then print out. So this piece of code, line of code, it's gonna print out Dave. It says input next. If you want to print out all line, the first line, you have to use next line. It is going to read until the end of the first line and print out everything. Okay? So you can assign, for example, name, input next. You can say that name is equal input dot next. Of course, string name is equal input dot next. So it's going to read the first thing here. I know that it is name, let's say, and it is going to assign to the name. So you can read the information from text file and assign to a variable. Then you can use them, manipulate them. So next line is going to read everything in the first line. Then you can continue. How you can use a while loop and read everything and print out them. It is better to use this has next. It returns true if this scanner has more data to be read. Has next, it is here. Do I have next? Yes. Next, yes. It's gonna check until you don't have anything on the next. Here, when you reach, there is nothing to read anymore. So has next, input.has next will be false. Then you can stop your while loop. Let's say this is my text, Maria Brown, 1, 2, 3, mark yellow, 5, and 4. By using this while loop, while input has next. So first I read the file and assign to file object. I said I am going to read from file, from this tuple.txt, not from console, by writing this file here. I have a while loop, while input.has next. What is input? This file. While there is something to read, it starts from the beginning here. First name, it is going to be input.next. I know the file that the first part will be name, second part will be surname, and the last part will be ID. So I say first name, input next. So it checked the first name, it is Maria, so first name will be Maria. Last name, so I am here now, be careful. Input next, so it is gonna keep reading until there is a white space. So white space here, it read this one and assigned to Brown to last name. Now I am here. This time I said integer, next integer. So it is reading now integer. Do I have an integer here? Yes, be careful, it should be integer. Otherwise, it's gonna throw an error here. So 1, 2, 3, it read that one and assigned to ID. Now I can print out. First name is this one, last name is that one, and ID is this one. Input close. I didn't change anything, but it's better to use like that to close the file. So there's a while loop. It's gonna read first part, print out, then second part, and print out. This is how you read and print out in console. So these are the things in scanner class. You can use these methods as next line, next byte. Use delimiter, set scanner delimiting pattern and returns this scanner. There will be CSV files, they might be comma between the words, let's say. You can use that one. Yeah, this might be important. You can read from web scrolling. It is very important nowadays. People are using to get all the, especially e-commerce, digital commerce. They want to read everything, all the products, their prices and everything, and collect them all and show you the best prices. Let's say you are searching for a laptop and you are scrolling all the web pages in Albania, PC store web pages, let's say, you are getting all of them and reporting, comparing the laptops, let's say. Web scrubbing, this one. Oh, we are using URL plus. This is the website I am gonna scrub. It's gonna get everything what you have there and assign to URL here. Of course, you have to import this one, import java.net.url. So you might have this error, malformed URL exception runtime error when the website is not working. For example, for this one, I'm going to have this error. Why? I didn't put this HTTP here. Okay, if you see that error, it means your URL is not correct. You have to put this part too. So you read it and you want to print out. You can use again scanner. This time not file, this time you are going to assign from URL.openstream. So this URL my URL class object, UR1, let's say. So that UR1.openstream, where I am going to read, not from console, not from file, from web. That web is this site. And I assign everything to this input object. Now I have them all. I can print out them, I can check them, I can see some special characters and remove them. Now you can read the data from input stream just like from a local file. Special for URL, we are using this try. We check invalid URL, input output errors, no such file. We ask first enter the console, the URL. You enter the URL. Then you assign that one to URL string. This is more proper way, I mean. You are asking client to enter the URL, they enter the URL, and then you assign whatever they enter this variable, and then you created your UR1 object, URL object. Now you are reading everything, whatever you have in that website, and assign to the output here. After that, you check them. Line by line, first line, second line. Count line length. So it is just counting how many lines they have, I guess. The file size is this one, and there are that much characters. Malformed URL exception. Class, invalid error, input output exception, this input output error, no such file. You can throw two catches, even if you want, you can throw more catches here. Even if you don't use this try catches, it is going to work, you know. This is just for us to understand what is happening, what is wrong. So this is input output file. Now you are ready for interface. GUI, graphic user interface. Next lesson we are going to start that one. I am going to put this one on Google Classroom today. I